An AI-driven economy could rewrite the rulebook for public wealth funds, turning centuries-old strategies on their head. And the first impact is something almost nobody predicts. Stay tuned to discover it at number 1. Imagine the moment a handful of AI pilots first entered the trading floors of sovereign wealth funds, their algorithms humming like unseen conductors. In 2024, a few pioneering funds experimented with machine learning models that could parse macro data faster than any human analyst. This early shift sparked both excitement and caution, as traditional managers watched their spreadsheets flicker under the glow of predictive analytics. The modest gains reported by these pilots hinted at a larger transformation, prompting other funds to allocate modest budgets toward AI research. While the returns were modest, the cultural ripple was undeniable. The idea that a computer could augment, even challenge, centuries-old stewardship began to take root, setting the stage for deeper integration.
Surprisingly, the next wave wasn't about faster trades but about smarter allocation decisions driven by massive data streams. By 2025, public wealth funds started feeding satellite imagery, climate models, and social sentiment into AI platforms that could rebalance portfolios in near real time. This data-driven allocation allowed funds to tilt towards sectors showing early signs of growth, like renewable energy hubs identified from satellite photos, while trimming exposure to lagging industries. The shift reduced reliance on quarterly reports, favoring continuous insight. As a result, several funds reported a smoother performance curve, with fewer sharp dips during geopolitical shocks. This newfound agility built on the early AI experiments, showing that the technology could enhance strategic foresight, not just execute trades.
In the wake of data-driven allocation, funds turned to algorithmic risk management to safeguard their expanding AI portfolios. Few people know that by mid-2026, sophisticated neural networks were simulating thousands of stress test scenarios in seconds, far outpacing traditional Monte Carlo methods. These models could detect hidden correlations, such as the link between commodity price spikes and emerging market debt defaults, before they manifested in the market. Consequently, fund managers began setting dynamic risk buffers that adjusted automatically, preserving capital during sudden downturns. The technology also introduced a new governance layer. AI-generated risk reports that were reviewed by human committees, blending speed with accountability. This evolution marked a clear departure from the static risk frameworks of the past, reinforcing the narrative that AI was becoming an indispensable risk partner.
Deep beneath the surface of traditional valuation lies a relentless quest for immediacy. By late 2026, AI engines were delivering real-time asset valuations by ingesting live news feeds, social media trends, and even geopolitical event timelines. This capability meant that sovereign wealth funds could see the market price of a foreign infrastructure project shift the moment a new regulation was announced, allowing instantaneous portfolio adjustments. The immediacy reduced the lag that once cost funds billions in missed opportunities. Moreover, real-time valuation fostered greater transparency with stakeholders, as fund reports could now include live dashboards rather than static quarterly snapshots. Building on algorithmic risk management, this development underscored how AI was turning static financial stewardship into a dynamic, responsive practice.
Meanwhile, the AI revolution opened doors to asset classes that were previously fringe. Hidden in the code of decentralized finance platforms, AI identified tokenized real-world assets, like fractional shares of renewable farms and AI-managed carbon credits, that aligned with public wealth fund mandates for sustainability. Some funds began allocating small percentages to these digital instruments, attracted by their liquidity and programmable compliance features. While regulators remained cautious, early pilots reported that AI could monitor compliance in real time, automatically flagging any deviation from ESG criteria. This cautious foray into novel assets illustrated how AI not only optimized existing holdings, but also expanded the horizon of what a sovereign fund could own, setting a precedent for future diversification.
Unexpectedly, the most profound shift arrived in the boardroom itself. AI-driven governance tools started drafting policy proposals, scoring investment ideas against long-term national goals, and even suggesting voting strategies for shareholder meetings. By early 2027, several funds deployed conversational AI assistants that fielded queries from policymakers, translating complex financial jargon into plain language. This automation reduced administrative bottlenecks, allowing human directors to focus on strategic deliberation rather than routine paperwork. The integration also introduced audit trails, AI logs that recorded decision rationales, enhancing accountability. This evolution built directly on real-time valuation and risk insights, creating a feedback loop where AI both informs and records governance actions.
Finally, the ripple extended beyond finance into the broader political economy. As AI-enhanced funds grew more efficient, their performance began influencing national budget discussions, prompting governments to reconsider fiscal policies that had long been insulated from market dynamics. Reports suggest that in several countries, legislators cited AI-generated forecasts when debating infrastructure spending, arguing that precise projections justified larger allocations. This interplay sparked debates about democratic oversight versus technocratic decision-making, raising questions about how much influence algorithmic predictions should wield in public policy. The political reverberations highlighted a new reality. The success of AI and wealth funds could reshape not just portfolios, but the very fabric of national economic planning.
Deep beneath these domestic shifts, an international race was heating up. Nations with early AI adoption in their sovereign funds began outperforming peers, prompting a scramble for talent and data partnerships. Some governments launched joint AI research centers, pooling satellite data and climate models to give their funds a competitive edge. The competition spurred standard-setting bodies to draft guidelines for ethical AI use in public finance, aiming to prevent a race-to-the-bottom scenario where short-term gains eclipsed long-term stability. This global contest underscored how AI could become a strategic asset on the world stage, echoing earlier chapters where data and risk management gave early adopters a decisive advantage.
Meanwhile, the societal impact of AI-optimized wealth funds began to surface. Studies indicate that funds employing AI to identify underserved regions could direct capital toward projects that generate inclusive growth, such as affordable housing in rapidly urbanizing areas. By aligning AI insights with social objectives, some sovereign funds reported modest reductions in regional inequality metrics. This redistribution narrative challenges the stereotype that AI solely serves profit motives. Instead, it illustrates a potential for technology to amplify public welfare goals. The story circles back to governance automation, where AI-crafted policies now embed social impact criteria directly into investment mandates.
Ultimately, the horizon points to an economy where AI is not just a tool but an integral partner in managing national wealth. Forecasts suggest that by the early 2030s, fully autonomous fund managers could operate under human oversight, continuously learning from global events and adjusting strategies without delay. While this vision remains speculative, the trajectory from early pilots to sophisticated governance illustrates a clear progression. The potential benefits, greater efficiency, enhanced risk mitigation, and more inclusive investment, must be weighed against ethical considerations and the need for robust oversight. As we close this journey, the question remains, will societies harness AI's power to uplift public wealth, or will the technology outpace our ability to control it?
We've traveled from the tentative first steps of AI and public wealth funds to a future where autonomous strategies could steer entire national fortunes. The journey shows how technology can amplify both risk and reward, reminding us that vigilance and adaptation are essential. If you enjoyed this deep look, hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. New mind-blowing lists every week. Which impact surprised you most? Let me know in the comments below, and let's keep the conversation going.